Hi. For no apparent reason, I decided to make another video, and I asked you guys to ask me questions, and people actually did. I was going to make this yesterday, but then I didn't, because that's how my life works. So Hugo wanted me to explain why I didn't do that yesterday. So people actually asked me some questions, so I guess I'll get to those, because nobody just wants to listen to me talk. Jacob asked, do you have any tips or advice for someone who wants to start writing fanfic? I have a lot of ideas, but it's hard to get it started and down on paper. Just what I did was I just imagined the scenario in my head, and I just described it as though I was telling the story to someone. I'm pretty sure my dad thinks I'm sitting in here talking to myself. Oh well. Yeah, so just imagine that you are sitting in front of someone telling the story, and it depends if you're going to tell, depends on what you want the rating for the story to be, but just as though you're explaining it to someone else, to someone who doesn't understand. The way I see it is, it's like watching a movie and then having to explain a scene in the movie to someone who is deaf and blind, but they can hear and see you, but they have no idea what's going on around them, and it's up to you to describe it to them. So that makes no sense at all. Alright, so the long story, or the long short answer, this is so awkward. The good answer, I guess, would be just sit down and write it in your own words, the way you would explain it to someone, and then go back and look over it and think, okay, I'll do this differently, or I'll do that differently, and then just sort of build on that, or just make some notes, jot down ideas, and write down the scene you see in your head. That's a terrible answer, but I hope I helped you. And Hugo asked, what is your ideal final number ever for Glee, excluding another reprise of Don't Stop Believing? I don't know. I probably should have thought about that. Probably, I don't know. I would have done, probably Time of Your Life, the one from Dirty Dancing. I think that's from Dirty Dancing. The one that started with Sam and Quinn. Yeah. But I'd have them do that one again. But I would definitely have them end it with Don't Stop Believing, because that's what they should do. And he asked another question. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Yeah. No. And Nikki wants to know how Skank Kurt would become a skank. I wrote you that, I wrote a story like that once for you, I think, unless we both worked on it. I think it would probably be, I think it could have happened, the divergence in, season 2, when he met Blaine. He could have, gone one of two ways with that. If he kept getting picked on, if he hadn't met Blaine and found that part of himself, he definitely could have pulled away and gone to the other side on that, sort of went with the other outcasts. I think that's how it could have happened if it were going to. That's how I think. And married to J Beebs, who has not told me her name. We have been friends for almost a year, and you have not told me your name. I made this stupid edit thing on Photoshop, and I used my name, and I had to use your URL because I don't know your name. So, what's your name? So Married to J Beebs wants to know, oh, it's a fic question. How much more is there of Abreaction? Abreaction is a story I'm writing. It's a subclane fanfiction where Sebastian has dissociative identity disorder, and it's my favorite one, so I'm not bragging, but it's awesome. And how much of that is there to go? That I was kind of hoping to finish that up in a couple chapters, but I'll sit down and write, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna start wrapping it up, and it's just no, you're not. The story is pretty much dictated that I have no idea how much longer that's going to be. At least another chapter, possibly up to 3 more. Maybe more. I honestly don't know. I keep thinking, okay, there's not much more to do, there's not much more to say, and then I'll think of more to do and more to say. So, however long that story decides it wants to be. And, also, if I would ever fill the Siblaine as Britannia, I want to fill that prompt so bad. But I wouldn't do it as Siblaine, I would do it as Sebclane. Because I just have to. Like, I can't do Kurt Bastion or Siblaine, or even to an extent Klaine. Like, it has to be. Like, I can't, like, skirt around it. Because Sebclane is my heart.